about him, and it's quite wonderful. Our next presenter this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Christy Sheffield Sanford. She was born in Atlanta, but we won't hold that against her. She holds a master's degree in creative writing and inner arts from Antioch University. She has won an NEA in poetry and is the author of many books, including the Cowrie Shell piece. Her brilliant animations have been published by AMP, Atticus, and the Ekphrastic Review. Ladies and gentlemen, she is talented, wise, and thoughtful. She has the soul of a poet. And it gives me the greatest of pleasure to introduce Christy Sanford and Vanishing.
The phrase turning page is centuries old. In Don Quixote, a novel that mocks chivalry, an unhappy squire wants to turn over a new leaf. My story, full of big personalities and strong emotions, is about turning a page too soon. My parents were artists. I'm a poet addicted to images. My story moves like a washing machine or the St. Johns River. Miss something, we'll circle back. A page of painful loss may also hold your sense of humor, or worse, your cheek. I was a busy, happy child, but at 10, my father died. I stopped speaking to boys for a decade. I spoke to my grandfather. I counseled my girlfriends on their relationships. I was a poster child for longing, but on dates, I wouldn't talk. At Rollins College, I forced myself to speak. That failed. A vegetarian with a gummy smile broke my heart. I came home and went to therapy with Carl Whitaker, who later became famous. His earthy spontaneity saved me. From 1995 to 2000, there was a web revolution for artists, writers, and musicians. In a de Maupassant story, two little soldiers fall for the same woman. In my first web-specific project, I fleshed out a character called Red Mona. French flashcards, collaged with text and images, appear randomly with sound files. Usually, if you keep writing, you'll figure out your themes. I was writing about triangles, elevating nature, and using body-centric language. My former husband chose Aix-en-Provence for a sabbatical. I took my laptop to record sounds of Fountaine Verdus, part of an online love story I was writing. The web community drew me in and accepted me. I took a pilgrimage to Wuppertal, Germany for my book, The Ostinato, about Pina Bausch, dance, theater, and resistance to joining disciplines. My bliss is making words dance. When Duffy Bishop belts out, boom, 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 I jump. I flew to Cleveland Clinic for a valve repair so I could dance 2 fast songs in a row. I had to have open heart surgery, not the robotic fix that I'd envisioned. Choreographed words sail diagonally over 2 pages and the gutter. This fractured story of a captain's shipwreck performs in a seascape. My wish is to enter the world as freely as this text. Sometimes I do. Write about what annoys you is a poet's prompt. This often swampy sidewalk pisses me off. A vanishing point can symbolize a taper into nothingness, into depth. But it can be the reverse. Imagine you escape drowning and you're exiting the water. I'm a material girl. I lost a gorgeous earring, shoulder duster. Then I rolled my juke over a Goodwill curb and tumbled downhill. The car body crumpled and dangled upside down. A woman opened the door and I slipped out. In The Third Man, my first grown-up film, Anna walks out of the vanishing point past the man waiting for her. Everyone ends up alone. My father was reading me Houdini's biography the night he died. I didn't wake up. My grandfather, Mr. Bill, ran a blueprint department. Often I write stanzas in text boxes, select all, and voila, images and text layers are outlined in blue, like a house plan where kids play and acrobats cavort. My mother, Christine, was a muse for two men. My father, who painted her and picked her hat and gloves, and my godfather portrayed her as a sensuous woman. I miss her Shalimar, a musky siren scent, and the smell of coals. My dad called my mother the Duchess. His nickname was Stucker. Stucker suffered chest pains. The Duchess ran downstairs. The optometrist refused to come. Another doctor came, but too late. Mama fainted. My daddy, like Houdini's elephant, vanished. As a child, I played paper dolls. Adults in my life painted and did acrobatic clowning. My mother stands on my father and godfather's shoulders. Great Lakes is my story, yet another triangle. With the loss of my dad, I also lost my sense of humor. I regained it through writing. Recently, I won a prize. The judge thought my near-death story amusing, a delicious, fibrillating fiction. Louise Bourgeois, her sculpture of a many-breasted goddess, inspired this self-portrait as the fruit of a spider lily. I write simultaneous stories of people, animals, and plants. Enlarging nature offsets the lofty role we assign to humans. Nothing vanishes without a trace. On the painful page you're turning, there might be love, life lessons, the best part of yourself. Draw a blueprint for happiness, less godlike reverence, more dedicated joy, and boom, boom, boom.